Okay. All right. Cool.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We are back here for the last game of day 2 where our host, Western Province, will be taking on Southern Gauteng. Both teams got wins yesterday, so it'll be a very, very exciting encounter. In a couple of minutes' time, I'll be chatting to the two coaches, just have a quick little brief understanding of what they're going to go through. So for now, back to the guys in the commentary area. So I'm joined here with the Southern Gauteng coach, Sandile Bosman. Sandile, good win yesterday, but obviously there's still a lot of things that you guys think you could have done a little bit better, worked on?
Yeah, definitely. You can always improve, and I think in this tournament format it provides you with that chance, so that's what we're looking to do, get better than we were yesterday.
You look at the balance of your side, you've got some players that have come back from the Olympics, you've got some very young, exciting players in the side. How important is the mix of that experience for the younger players coming through?
It definitely comes up as a leadership kind of role for them, and building up and giving the youngsters confidence to go forward and express themselves, but also learn to be responsible and play a mature brand of hockey.
So you got this game, and then you've got one more game against EP tomorrow. Completely new tournament when the quarterfinals start?
No, the tournament started yesterday, so we keep playing every game.
Good for you. Listen, good luck and all the best.
Cool, thank you.
Right, I'm joined by the Western Province coach, Andy Bernstein. Andy, a good win against Eastern Province yesterday, but obviously still a few things I can know in your mind that you wanted to work on?
Most definitely. I think the first day of a tournament's always like a bit rusty, and it's the first time that the groups actually played, to be fair, on this actual pitch. We haven't been training here. So yeah, this first day is always little niggles here and there that we chatted about last night, tried to solve. Coming back, a different team today, playing against different people.
Andy, you've been at this level for quite a long time. To what level do you start drawing your own experience from previous tournaments when you get into situations that you might see that maybe your players are experiencing for the first time? How do you draw on from that experience?
I think it's just a matter of trying to get a good balance between having them in the right mindset and not to get over anxious about stuff that we know that we can fix. And I think that's where the experience comes in, not just from me, but also from the senior players. You know, we've got 8 newbies in the team, and we've got 8 senior players that played IPT before. So it's having conversations with the seniors, and the seniors, you know, settling the juniors to say, hang on, this is expected, this is what's going to happen, this is how we can work it out. Yeah.
Andy, all the best and good luck for this game.
Yeah, thanks AJ. Cheers.
Back to the guys up in the commentary area. Yeah, there we have a little, very entertaining little war cry from Southern Gauteng as they will be taking on Western Province in the last game of the day. My name's AJ Spirinshoek and welcome to game number 4. Another Pool B clash here between the hosts, Western Province and Southern Gauteng. I'm joined by Kurt Serfontein. Kurt's been some really good hockey so far today.
Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, AJ. Definitely been some good hockey on display today, irrespective of some of the scorelines and what lies ahead here. Probably a mouth-watering clash quite early into the tournament.
Yeah, nice early, like one of those test match type hockey matches. Your typical IPT. Southern Gauteng taking on Western Province. Southern Gauteng playing in their yellow from, as you look on the screen now, away from you on the screen, and Western Province playing in their blue towards the opposite side, towards the screen as we... Some space now down the left hand side there. Numpilo Thendwayo on the ball, and this ball's gone straight inside the circle, and now it will be a 16-yard free to Western Province. A few players back from Olympics in the side, so it should be some fascinating battles. Kirsten Payton up against Quinita Bobbs. That should be a good battle in the middle of the field. A few other battles throughout the game that should be really good to see. Southern Gauteng building up the back is Lazan Janssen van Rensburg, or Van Vieren, apologies. Should be finding herself in the middle.
Yes, we're probably expecting a game of bit of tactical chess here from the two coaches, and it'll be interesting to see what sort of patterns they settle into from a tactical perspective in this first chapter.
Yeah, we heard Andy Bernstein also say yesterday, even though that they got a win, it was a tricky win. They said there's a lot of things they needed to work on, a lot of things that they needed to fix. As we see Taryn Gillespie with the ball down the right hand side here, she enters the circle and good challenge comes in, but well saved. As Jamie Southhead still with the ball, Tomahawk shot comes in and she misses the ball, and fortunately just hitting Captain Bernadette Costin's stick, so it will be a free hit out to Southern Gauteng.
Yeah, so Southern should probably be very aware of Taryn Gillespie receiving the ball in those wide areas and using a pace with good control, entering in those T-point zones. We saw good defensive intervention there. Lots of bravery coming in from the experienced Bernadette Costin. And Southern's immediately back in the other end. Good little intercept by Brady Wiseman. And Province allowed to settle again.
They move quite seamlessly down this left hand side, does Southern Gauteng. It's the third time they've done it. It's very early on still. Quite comfortably through that area. Jelena Marnus on the ball currently. She finds Steph Puerte in the middle, but just rolls off her stick as Bernadette Costin still with the ball, and unfortunately playing some obstruction there. And there wouldn't be another chance as Western Province there. They're just going with 3 at the back. Christine Seggi, as well as Brady Wiseman now on the right hand side, is finding some space. Nicole Kindig can't get into the end of that. But yeah, fascinating game we got up ahead of us. It's really exciting to see how, like you said, how both teams are playing it. You know, we were saying about Andy Bernstein yesterday, now before the game, even though the game was won and they were pretty successful, she says there's still a lot of things that just try to figure out in game 1. Also really good insight into her approach in mixing her 8 new players with all the senior players that have been around and been playing at IPTs for many years. So it's fascinating to see how different coaches approach those different aspects of the game, because it's not just coaching a team, it's managing players, managing emotions, taking players through some learnings outside of the game of hockey that will help them to be better players.
Yeah, definitely a lot of things that goes into the pot, AJ. So it's coach's role is never a straightforward one. It's not only about the on-field sort of thing in terms of the matches. So much more to take into consideration.
I mean, Kurt, from your side as a coach, I mean, like I said, you've coached at the highest level for many years. How much of your time did you spend focusing on, let's say, I'll put it non-hockey aspects. And when I talk about non-hockey aspects, I talk about the mental approach to things, how to work on team dynamics, and because a lot gets spoken about when you look at other sports like football and various other sports. How much of your time, besides as a coach that has done so much as yourself, you've obviously spent a lot of time doing research on different structures, different ways different teams do things. So how much of that time do you spend outside of I'll put inverted commas, non-hockey related things?
So the term we're probably looking for is more of a holistic approach, AJ.
Yeah.
And, as you say that Robin Johnson smashes a crash ball, no one at the end of that. Yeah, I definitely prided myself on spending time on the mental side of things, and I've always believed it's just pretty simple. If there's mutual respect, if there's trust, those players will do anything for you as a coach.
Andrea Leader on the ball, and she tries to work her way through, but not able to, as there's still Ashley Thomas now on it. She's going to look to drive straight in. She takes Kristen Payton on, can't get past it as Quinita Bob's now on the ball. Ball goes inside the circle, and there's an opportunity. Andrea Leader takes a shot, but it misses everything and goes over the baseline. And the reason I bring up this topic is because we look at things like football, and you look at some of the documentaries, and a lot of the time, Jose Mourinho had this thing. He says he doesn't coach, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo how to kick a ball. He coaches football teams, and he said it in the way that he's looking at culture, he's looking at the way that he manages players, because he doesn't need to coach somebody to kick a soccer ball at that level, and especially at this level, you're not coaching players to stop a ball or hit a ball, but you're coaching players to focus on team dynamics and various other things, especially culture. It's Bernadette Costin with a big ball. She tried to look for Malika Hamza in that far corner, and Malika Hamza now on the ball. Very exciting little player, and she's gonna definitely somebody that the Western Province defense needs to look out for. As she will be a live wire, especially with lots of space. Southern Gauteng now. Tamlin Koch on the ball. Kristen Payton. She's dispossessed as Stephanie Botha now. And the space looks to build it up, and well won there by Southern Gauteng. Hitting a Western Province foot.
Yeah, so probably Nicole Kinkuni guilty of being extremely static there as the ball was being played to her by Steph Botha to release the pressure in defense. Yeah, players should always be moving to receive, or receiving movement, excuse me.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've briefly chatted about it when we've spoken about
Province now, opportunity to launch counter, Taryn Glasby, Shade Main, working hard on the help side. Southern's managing to keep the numbers steady, and not the best pass from Taryn.
Really good movement now towards the right hand side. Tony Marks all the way to a captain Bernadette Costin. Ball comes through. Gillian Amanis getting in between the pass.
Yeah, and based on yesterday's game as well with Southerns versus the SA under 21s, they were really good at driving up on the left hand side on a counter, sucking a opposition into that channel and transferring all the way across to the outside like they did previously.
Yeah, as ball passes through, they're shouting for a penalty corner, Tony Marks, but it's not header footers. Umpire Melissa Taylor says play on us. Southerns will have a free hit, sideline free hit. Tamlin Koch taking on the Western Province defense, and Western Province happy to allow it to come onto them.
Yeah, Tamlin, an extremely skillful, young, exciting player, also part of the national under 21 squad. Obviously looking to make an impression on the under 21 selectors before they finalise the team for their Junior World Cup in Potch in December. Linta Cullinan now coming onto the field for Western Province, into the left half position. But untidy from Province.
Yeah, sideline freed. Even though it hit the foot, umpire didn't blow the whistle, so they have the free hit, but it's hit straight towards Nicole Koenig and Andy Leader, on the ball, but she's dispossessed. Isabella de Roche now feeds it to Tamlin Cock. Tamlin Cock's got a little bit of space. She drives towards, shot comes in, and save been made. Bernay van Wyk from Western Province making a save there. It just seems like the Southern players have their tails up just a little bit. They just seem, it's a lot more verbal, praise coming towards all the players towards each other. So it's definitely something that's just more as we see Andy Bernstein on screen.
Yeah, umpire Rostron putting a foot out early, not having any sort of argy-bargy between the players. I think it's always important for the umpires to set the tone early in the game, especially one of this nature.
Yeah, because you don't want to let things go like that.
Yeah. And already we've seen either of them receive the ball.
Yeah.
So probably two of the most skillful midfield ball carriers in the country playing directly against one another, and we see Tony Box going ahead with the ball. Great ball through.
And Nompilo Thenzwayo gets the ball in open space, and she duffs the hit a little bit, but it was more than enough to put the ball past Bernay van Wyk. Southern Gauteng take a 1-0 lead into this clash here in the game in Pool B, in the final game of the day against the host team Western Province. And just a bit of space that Western Province are not aware of, and it's a small thing, but Western Province have just made a whole host of subs in the defense, and they just didn't have time to regroup, to gather themselves. And as they did that, and it's the second pass that Southerns have made into that area. So now Julia Hall with a big ball across, and unfortunately Conita Bob's not able to get to the end of it, as Erin Christie receives the ball forward to Tony Marks, and Sylvia van der also tried to get the end of it, but Jamie Southgate receives it. She gives it to a skipper, Conita Bobs, and you can see where Marley on the ball, but well defended there by Martine de Bruin. It's just an opportunity for them just to slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, so AJ, getting back to the way that goal that was conceded by Western Province, I almost think it's unforgivable. That you have a player being unmarked, and we see a great ball threaded through, and great equalizer coming from Julia Hall. Very good connection and vision there from Mongezwe Mali, and Province are back in the game almost immediately.
That's just the talent of the striking force in the Western Province team, that just out of nowhere they could turn it on. And again, the same thing that you mentioned about the defense from Western Province on the other side. One player left open in the box, and I agree with you. It's unforgivable that something like that could happen, and just the lack of maybe communication at the back, and a little bit of ball watching also brings the intensity of this game in. So no doubt that both sides will have to tighten that up going forward.
Conita Bobs and Jamie Southgate been able to find one another quite well.
Yeah, we can see where Miley now, she's got the ball. She's got Julia Holder outside, and she finds some space inside, and she makes a pass, and it's been lifted, but it's not dangerous, as umpires say carry on. And Celinta Cullen now with the ball on the left hand side, she feeds it inside, and unfortunately Tang Gillespie jumping out the way, and it's bounced off Martine de Bruin's stick and hit her foot, and probably just that jumping out the way and keeping off the ball, her eyes off the ball, is one of the reasons why it hit her foot. Zahn Janssen van Vieren now feeding outside, Erin Christie on her outside, and she'll be disappointed with that pass that she made. And we see Quinita Bob's captain, just fresh from the Olympics. Nice overhead into Jade Main, and play not being 5. You're going to watch that, because in future that could lead to a penalty corner, as ball gets fed inside the circle, and it will be a 16-yard free hit.
Yeah, second time in the game, AJ, as well, that we've seen that tactic from Western Province. Brady Wiseman just inside the half of the opposition, tossing that aerial into the wide right-hand corner for a Province striker to receive. I think it's been quite effective 100% of the time now, so not sure if the Southern's coaching staff will be picking that up.
Yeah, Sandile Bosman, we chatted earlier, he's going to have to look at that is Isabella de Rocha finds the goal scorer, Pilo Themswayo. Isabella de Rocha got the ball again and she's just outside, but unfortunately dispossessed there by Conita Bobs. It's Andy Leader again. Finds Julia Hall on the outside. Julia Hall looks for a big ball inside the middle of the field. Then Martine de Bruin picking it up. She's under a little bit of pressure and she trips and falls, but there's some space open with Taryn Glasby up front, but it's almost like, I don't know how quickly that half went, and it's the end of quarter number 1.
Yeah, AJ, definitely probably a breathless final 5 minutes there after the first goal was scored. But we've come to expect nothing less of these two teams. They should both be settled after 15 minutes, and look forward to an interesting second chukka.
Yeah, we're going to take just a quick little breather, just to get our breath back. I don't think I looked at the clock at all during this half, but we'll see you in a minute or two. Right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. What an exciting first quarter we've had. No doubt it was the quarter we were expecting. 1-1. Southern Gauteng taking on Western Province here in the final game of the day, and also a Pool B clash. Both teams winning their games yesterday. Southern Gauteng beating the SA under-21s, and Western Province beating EP. So quite an important game, this one. Although there's still a long way to go in the tournament, but this game will go a long way in deciding what type of playoff game they will have, which teams. And that happens in 2 days' time as the final group matches tomorrow. And then we move to playoffs on Thursday. First quarterfinals on Thursday, semi-finals on Friday, and then Saturday evening at 4 o'clock. Here at Hartleyville Hockey Stadium, we'll be having the gold medal match. If you are in the area, please come down and watch. We are allowed to have spectators at the ground, and the stadium is filling up pretty nicely. It's really nice just to see people in stadiums and to have spectators watching, and especially shouting for the players when goals are scored and when good moments are happening. But if you can't, we will be giving you the stream from now until the last game on Saturday, as we see Julia Hall driving down the right hand side. Now on the left hand side, apologies, as there will be a long corner. I'm joined by Kurt Serfontein, and we've been chatting quite a bit about the game we've just had. It's been really not end to end, but it's been action packed throughout the game already. So it's 1-1. Corita Bob's now driving down the T-point. She beats the first play, and ball comes inside the circle. Taryn Glasby has it. Shot comes in, and it hits the keeper's pad. But Kristen Payton calmly passing it to a teammate Robin Johnson, but ball goes over the baseline, so it will still be a long corner to Western Province, and still putting Southerns under a little bit of pressure in the start of quarter 2.
Yeah, so Southern's goalkeeper, Chepon Watepani, also national squad member, using all the experience and doing the right thing, closing down the space there. Did really well. As you see Ongimbali weaving her way through. And Paya Rostron deeming a bit of an infringement from Maps there in the Southern's goal. Affords Western Province their first penalty corner of the match.
And this will be an interesting decision as to what type of penalty corner they go with. They go something very simple. Do they try something a bit more flashy? They've got enough numbers to focus on that. And people like Steph Berters off the field currently, but they do have a couple of more players that can work something off the top.
Goes the Castle one with Bobs.
And as we thought that it was a really well executed goal, there was obstruction, and Southern Gauteng looking to drive down the right and left hand side of the field, and well broken down there by Andrew Leader, but they still got numbers forward as Tamlin Cock tries to get it forward, overhead into space. Kristen Payton's got it inside the 25. She feeds it through. It's hit her Jamie Southgate's foot, but she still won the penalty, or the free hit, apologies, and she's driving inside the circle. Tomahawk shot comes in, good save by Bernay van Wyk. It goes over the line as while Western Province were trying to question the umpire, the free hit was taken quickly. And some of you might be asking what happened when umpire deemed there was a obstruction by one of the Western Province players in front of Ongimali as she took the shot at goal. So they weren't happy with that, as balls lifted dangerously as Southern Gauteng. Umpire Melissa Taylor correcting a decision. It's lifted dangerously, I apologize, off a Southern Gauteng stick, so it will be a 16-yard free hit.
Yeah, AJ, so interestingly, from not so much a tactical perspective, but already we see a positional change where Jade Main is now playing in the province midfield lineup, and you're probably opting to use Jade's experience. She's quite versatile, can play across both lines, and yeah, potentially could be the change that is required from a Western Province perspective.
Yeah, there's a few changes that have been made already. Tony Marks receiving the ball towards the left hand side under pressure from Brady Wiseman. And again, Brady Wiseman just fortunately sticking the foot out, and there's a wry smile on her face. So I think she knows exactly what she did, and she'll be sitting off the field for a little bit of time. So Western Province will be playing with a man down. Southern Gauteng with the ball, trying down that right hand side. Mampilo Themswayo, who was the goal scorer for Southern Gauteng. Moving the ball around. We also look at the difference between the last game, and we briefly chatted about Eastern Province in a long period, and then we see Brady Wiseman unfortunately be sitting off for a little bit, and Eastern Province were not making tackles outside the 20, outside the circle. And already we can see from both the Southerns team and the Western Province team that very intent on making those tackles outside and not allowing those skillful players like your Kristen Payton, Robin Johnson, Sylvia van Jaarsveld to enter the circle. It's something that both teams are going to be doing well.
Yeah, very important, AJ, especially with the skill level of the players. I'd probably, from a Southern's perspective, I'd probably put the exciting Tamlin Cock in there as well.
Yeah.
In that mix, Tony Mox, and similarly on the other side with Darren Baspies and Ongizwe Marlies.
We see Jade Main with the ball. She's looking for numbers forward. She feeds the ball through, and it's come off a Southern stick, but it will be a long corner. Jade Main also lots of experience, and no doubt she's going to help these younger players just transition into IPT hockey quite comfortably, as the battle there between Jade Main and Tamlin Cock. So again, it will still be Western Province's ball on the long corner spot. So we see Christine Segi on the ball. She's got numbers inside this one. Again, Southern Gauteng very happy getting sticks in and closing the space down as quickly as possible.
Western Province still a player down. Now, as I say that, Brady Wiseman steps back onto the park.
Now back to full numbers there, and this is definitely going to be the type of game that's going to rely on teams to try and keep all 11 players on the field. As Intercullen with a big ball inside the circle as Nicole Koenig tries to hit the ball, but she hits it, misses the ball and hits Southern Gauteng stick. So it will be a free out to Southern Gauteng.
Yeah, so second time we've seen that delivery from the Intercullen. Just lifting it slightly with a lot of speed on the ball. Ball skidding, difficult to defend. And say that ball turned over by Lenta.
It was good work from Leleto and De Kisa, sorry. And there was one again by Nicole Koenig as she drives down left hand side. And there's Julia Hall again. Julia Hall's looking down the line as we see Taryn Glasby.
Ash Thomas linking there with Julia Hall. Deciding to go all the way back.
Steph Porter deciding to take the strikers on. Hitting a foot just on the 5-yard line is again Southern's happy to put numbers behind the ball. Brady Wiseman, she feeds the ball through as Ash Thomas unfortunately can't get the ball under control. We've got 6 minutes or 7 minutes on our stadium clock. I think it's 6 minutes on the stream. It's 7 minutes on our stadium clock to go. Bernadette Costin, Team De Bruyne all the way across.
Interestingly as well, I'm not sure if the coaches are trying to match one another, but Erin Christie, traditionally an outside midfielder, national women's captain, now also in a midfield position.
Yeah,
similar to what's happened with Jade Main.
It's a bit of a chess match. We were just matching pieces a little bit here and there. Well, Quinita Bob's receiving the ball in the middle of the field, and something that we'll see often. She's driving through the middle. She's beaten one player. The ball's inside the circle, but it's picked up by Erin Christie as ball gets fed into the middle. But this trap pass, but Steph Wirt unfortunately loses it. Sylvia van Laasveld, umpire unfortunately blows a whistle before advantage could be given. So again, Robin Johnson, unfortunately a wayward pass there, is trying to get Malika Hamza running down that left hand space.
Yeah, in the previous game I complimented the SA under 21 side, especially in the first 3 quarters of the game, for the speed of execution in terms of connectivity. I think we're not seeing that from both these teams at present. Players probably looking to go into conflict when they shouldn't. Let the ball do the work.
Yeah, it's a very, very good example. And you said that, you mentioned in the game before that you could lead to some sort of danger if you do get into contact. And there was a prime example now on halfway line where the ball's lost and there was a great counter-attacking opportunity for Southern Gauteng as Erin Christie now with the ball, she feeds it out, but it will be a sideline free. It's for Southern Gauteng. Hayley Kilfoy with an overhead. She spent a bit of time in the US playing some NCAA hockey. It's good to see her back in South Africa. She's originally from Four Ways High School. Playing inside is Kristen Payton, drives inside the circle and Brady Wiseman picks it up, and she still has the ball under control, but well defended. It's a dangerous drive from Kristen Payton.
Yeah, pretty effective from Kristen, but also once again disappointed at the way that the Western Province defenders were just not patient, flying into tackles. A bit better with the first touches.
Yeah, just maybe get that body position. Check this. Well, it's a Western Province foot. Isabella de Rocha still got the ball under control, but umpire played advantage and hits Malika Hamza's foot, so it will be still 16-yard free it now. Steph Berta on the ball, and we're slowly ticking away. We've got 4 minutes to go here in the quarter. There's a lot that's going to be said by the two coaches. It's been fairly even. I mean, most of the games today, there have been very, very different conversations that have been happening by both coaches, but there might be a few similar aspects mentioned by each team, although probably the crux of the conversation will be slightly different. There might be overlaps. You see Haley Keelford driving down that left-hand T-point, and she's going to try and find something, and it is a penalty corner to Southern Gauteng, and with 3.5 minutes to go, is a chance for them to take a lead.
Yeah, just too easy there for me from a Southern's perspective. Just allowing the player to drive in like that, and then picking what they want to do when they're getting into that tight baseline zone. And Steph just a bit over eager, but I thought that the point of defense on the initial static hit wasn't good.
Let's push out
Carmen Smith with a big hit. Good save by Bede van Wyk. Carmen quite a powerful hitter. Quick ball release for Jamie Southgate. Jade Main all the way up inside the D. Ash Thomas feeding Conita Bobs, who can now drive. Looking to recycle.
Good work there from Southern Gauteng on defense, just to get their numbers behind the ball. Western Province still happy to play. Press nice and high up the field. So Alex Kavanagh feeds Lazan Janssen van Vieren down this left hand side. Erin Christie with a nice burst into midfield. That is also a little bit easier than expected. She still wins the ball, and his numbers forward as Tony Marks now with the ball on the side. Shot comes in. Bede van Wyk hits a right foot, and it will be a long corner. And again, like you say, there's a few moments in the game now that Western Province are just, it's almost like it's just a little bit too easy for Southern Gauteng now, not just outside the circle but in midfield as well.
Yeah, Province guilty of probably not bringing the intensity and being a lot more proactive. As I say that, Ash Thomas's first touch lets it down again.
Ball comes in there from Erin Christie. Unfortunately, Tony Marks couldn't get the ball under control. So 2 minutes to go here, or under 2 minutes to go. As it's still 1-1 here between the last game of the day. Western Province, our hosts this week, taking on Southern Gauteng. Ball into the middle, and there's some numbers forward, and Taryn Graspie unfortunately just couldn't get it under control. Alex Kavanagh now with the ball, but she's under pressure. Umpire saying that it's hit a foot bin. The crowd in front of the umpire did not agree with her, but I think Taryn says it just hit a stick and not the foot.
Yeah, also important right now, AJ, with just over a minute to go. It's about just managing this phase of the game. So you wouldn't want to concede as either team now, so no unnecessary risks.
Yeah, and that's where we spoke about that experience in the side. That's where this comes to the fore.
And there we almost saw a costly turnover.
Yeah, to see these moments that are popping up, and again, I emphasize experience quite a bit, and the reason I say this is because there are a lot of people. If we think about some of the players maybe that have left high school last year, as we see Province driving down this T-point, ball comes in, but no outcome. But it's lifted dangerously. Umpire is saying it's lifted dangerously. It will be Southern's, but the reason I mentioned experience, if we look at the situation, we obviously haven't had an IPT for a while. Some of the players who were matric last year didn't have any hockey at all, and now they're coming, and some of them are playing at their first big IPT, and they're playing in a senior ladies tournament. So that experience that some of the senior players like your Kristen Payton, your Erin Christies, your Conita Bobs, that comes through now for them. As the siren goes for half time, has been two very different quarters. Very exciting first one, very tight second one with a few errors here and there. But it's 1-1 Southern Gauteng versus Western Province. We're going to take a break for half time, and we'll see you just before the start of quarter number 3. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Hartleyville Hockey Stadium for the second half, or quarter 3 of the match between Southern Gauteng and Western Province. Western Province now playing from right to left. Southern Gauteng in their yellow from left to right. It's still 1-1. It's been a very, very tight game so far. There have been a few errors here and there from both teams that they'll definitely want to clean up. A few errors that they made in quarter 2 that they'll want to clean up, and something that they'll try and fix. As Quinita Bobs now drives down this left-hand space and she finds Jelena Marnus. Hits the foot, and it'll be a free hit out to Southern Gauteng.
Really good tracking there from Tamlin Cock from a forward position, and all the way with the opposite number. Makes a good defensive intervention.
Fortunately, a misplaced pass there from Alex Kavanagh. Nicole Koenig, as the wind starts picking up quite substantially from, as the wind is blowing, as you see it on the screen, from right to left. So Western Province will have it at their backs as they move forward.
Yeah, it'll be interesting in terms of the wind behind their backs, whether someone like Brady Wiseman will now use those aerials more frequently. Just going to get a lot more purchase on it. Bit of a loose ball played.
Step point, unfortunately dispossessed. Robin Johnson on the ball. She's got Tamlin Cock on her outside as she looks for it, but Gillian Amanus picks it up and play carries on as Robin Johnson still has it as she feeds it towards Tony Marks, and the ball goes over the sideline off the stick of Steph Botha, so it will be a long corner. Kristen Payton tries to find Leletu and Dekisa on that left hand side.
But unfortunately, Kristen was aware that no one was aware of Leletu being free on the outside of that free hit. Could have been quite advantageous. And Brady attempting that first overhead, well managed by the Southern's defender.
Definitely a little bit more distance there with the wind as well. So Malika Hamza now down this left hand side. Brady Wiseman in front of her. Well tackled as the ball goes over the baseline, so it will be a long corner. Southern Gauteng putting Western Province under a little bit of pressure for the first couple of minutes here in quarter 3. As Kristen Payton feeds it back to her defenders. Hayley Kilful passes out to Alex Kavanagh.
And immediately noticing that Erin Christie back into a traditional right half position at the start of this quarter.
Obstruction blown there as Arnie Hansen-Van tries to drive forward, and unfortunately she's obstructed Ashley Thomas from trying to get the ball. So will be a free hit out there to Western Province. Steph Botha at the back with the ball currently. She looks for numbers forward. Jelena Marnus on the ball. Good tackle there coming in from Lazani Janssen-Van. Tamlin Cock receives it, but unfortunately she gives it away as Christine Segi also picks it up but loses it, and Malika Hamza on the ball at the moment. Tackled there by Quinita Bobs.
Yeah, it just seems like far too often it seems like players aren't characteristically getting the ball knocked against their feet with no defensive pressure on them.
Taryn Glasby on the ball. So yeah, this was those few little basic areas that we started creeping in quarter 2. Kristen Payton looks for a good 45 ball in. Tries to find Sylvia van Jaarsveld, but Christine Segi picks it up, and Ashley Thomas on the ball at the moment as she loses a shin guard, but she carries on playing. That's Erin Christie tries to feed the ball out, and Hayley Kilful on the ball now. She looks for Tony Marks forward, but she finds Tamlin Cock as Tamlin with a little bit of skill. Yeah, gets through 2 players.
Great skill there from Tamlin in the free hit.
Tamlin still on the ball and through the legs of Gillian Amanus, but Gillian Amanus back to defenders. Gillian also just currently been, or just recently been selected for the Namibian Indoor World Cup team. Them, as well as the South African men's and ladies, as well as the Namibian men, will be at the Indoor World Cup representing Africa at the start of February. So we wish them all luck. As the shadows start creeping onto the field as we come towards the end of day 2, but we're still a couple of minutes away, as I still see, I think it was Ashley Thomas's shin guard still lying in the middle of the field, but the ball hasn't gone there yet, as Nicole Kunik wins a good ball. Ashley Thomas on the ball at the moment, tries to find Quinita Bobs, but it hits, comes off Isabella de Rocha's stick and hits Quinita Bobs' foot. Claire Cowan saying that there was an infringement just before that.
Yeah, fair amount of bravery there from Steph Water.
Yeah.
Stepping to become the point of defense, which was missing from the start.
An umpire's playing advantage for a penalty corner. I think it Steph Water came in for a challenge, and some of them will be asking, who said umpires are players saying, but we thought that looked like a stick block, but not, and it's a penalty corner. Southerns now with the chance to try and take a lead in this game.
Second penalty corner of the game for Southerns. Previous penalty corner, they had Carmen Smith hitting directly off Castle 2. Let's see if they do something different this time.
Carmen Smith again. Ball comes, deflects off Sylvia van Jaarsveld's stick. It looked like it was going in, and it was flicked away by Steph Botha, but the ball's still under pressure as a tomahawk shot comes in and from Kristen Payton, but umpire plays advantage. Carmen Smith plays it across. And good advantage played as all the players were waiting for the whistle. It just goes past the post, and Sylvia van Jaarsveld just couldn't get to the end of it, and it was a golden opportunity there for Southerns to take a 2-1 lead. Still now Southerns got the ball deep on their right hand channel through Erin Christie. She finds Carmen Smith. So take the ball around the back. Zani Janse van Vuren slumbers forward. Good ball finding Sylvia van Jaarsveld. Nice little arc inside. She tries to beat two players, and she unfortunately pushes the ball too far away from herself, as Anita Bobs now has the ball in midfield, and she's got Jamie Southgate on her outside. Jamie tries to get the ball under control, and she finds Julia Hall up front. Julia Hall well controlled and protected, as well played to Nicole Kunik towards the right hand side, just a little bit too far from her.
Intent good from Western Province there in terms of moving the ball, transferring it, getting to the outside of the field where they actually had a bit of an overload, but not being able to find the stick of the teammate.
Again, if you are watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's IPT 2021. We waited a long time to see an IPT, and we're here at Hartleyville Hockey Stadium. And as we mentioned, we know that some of you are not able to be here, so we're providing you the live stream on YouTube as well as the School Sports app, the Super Sports Schools app. But if you are in the area and you have some time to come and watch some hockey, I think the players would love to have some more supporters in the stands. So if you are in the area, come down, and we would happily have you here, just to give the players some well-needed support throughout the week. Like we mentioned, we will be here all the way until the last game on Saturday evening, with the main final happening at 4 o'clock here at Hartleyville Hockey Stadium, as well as for the next couple of days as we start making our way towards the playoffs. They got the last group game tomorrow, and then Thursday will be the first round of quarterfinals. Friday will be the semis, and then final playoff games on Saturday. Quinita Bobs played a big ball in, but Lazan Janse van Vuren tries to play it out, but it hits Andrea Leader's stick, and it goes over the sideline. Isabella de Rocha with the ball in midfield. She hasn't got it under control. Angie Mali on the ball, unfortunately dispossessed, but there's no advantages. Umpire Melissa Taylor takes it back.
Yeah, AJ, game becoming a bit scrappy during this period now. Neither of the teams been able to string up at least 3-4 passes together in the passage of play. Probably.
Just a bit stop-start at the moment. And the big ball in again. Nobody really at the end of it. And like we said, a bit stop-start, a bit. I think both coaches would want the teams to just get a little bit more fluid, a little bit more structured, and just string a few passes stick to stick. Just get a bit of momentum. At the moment, just seems the momentum for both teams seems to be lost a little bit. So Mali down that right hand side. Taryn Glasby now runs towards the box. But Bernadette Costin, nice cover defense, as it now will be a long corner to Western Province.
Yeah, so great pressure from Angie Mali there to win the ball back. So that it's a bit of a blind pass from Conita Bobbs. Southern's attempting to launch a counter, but Tony Marks just waiting that pass far too early for Malika Hamza.
We see another over trying to go with the wind there, but into a dangerous area. So umpire Melissa Taylor blowing up. And Carmen Smith will have the free hit. Southern Gauteng again. Both teams just still trying to just get some rhythm in this quarter. And a really good move there by Hayley Kilful finding Sylvia van Jaarsveld. There's a little bit of space as she moves towards a T-point. Tomahawk shot comes in and forces a save from Benay van Wyk, because there was Tony Marks and Malika Hamza waiting for a deflection as Robin Johnson takes it quickly as she looks for numbers towards the right hand side. She couldn't find it as Andrea Leader got a stick in the way. But Leleto and Ndekisa has the ball for a free hit. But now it's been given to Western Province, and Southern Gauteng players look a bit surprised, but it's a Western Province sideline free hit here. We've got 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes to go here in quarter 3. So both teams just giving minimal away as Bernadette Costin comes across to snuff out the overhead from Brady Wiseman.
Yeah, Brady should probably be looking to get a flatter trajectory on those sort of aerials right now. Throwing him into better areas. And for the first time in a while, we've seen Western Province with Lenta Cullinan now in a right half position, drifting up the outside line.
Yeah, just a direct swap there with Brady Wiseman from first half. Still Van Jaarsveld looking for a ball on the inside. We couldn't find anybody. Lenta Cullinan now with a big ball inside towards the circle, and keeper very happy to let the ball go.
Good idea from Lenta. Angie read that, fortunately just couldn't get a touch.
Two minutes to go, yes. Both teams. This little derby. Southerns and Western Province. Now umpire deeming that Hayley Kilful came in dangerously, so it will be Western Province free hit. So I just want to move the ball around a little bit again, go stick to stick. Still one touch. We've got Julia Hull in the far space, and she's done really well to receive the ball there. Steph Buerta wins it, finds Ongi Mali. Shot comes in now from. It goes well wide and watched quite comfortably by. So chance goes a begging there for Western Province. Seconds left, and again also like Kurt mentioned earlier, try and manage these situations knowing there's a couple of minutes left in half, and a great little 1-2 down the right hand side. Unfortunately Erin Christie not able to keep it under control.
Yeah, just an example there of Erin starting that movement, playing the inside 1-2, but then the province player responsible for Erin not tracking her. Just creates that opportunity.
Another overhead there from Brady Wiseman, but picked up by Bernadette Costin. There are numbers forward and she's looking for it and hits Christine Segi's foot. Is broken down there by Western Province, and Bernadette Costin still on the ball. Ball comes inside the circle and Tamlin Cock will have it under control. She tries to get something out of it, but it's well tackled by Western Province, or well cleared by Western Province, and Tamlin Cock in front really not able to get, just swinging wildly and giving a free hit away as quarter number 3 comes to an end. As it's still 1-1. We've got 15 minutes left here in this game between Southerns. We'll take a little break and see you in a minute or two. Right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of quarter 4. It's still 1-1 here between Western Province and Southern Gauteng. 2 goals scored in that first chucker and nothing being scored since then. A goal by Nompilo Thenjwayo and a goal by Julia Hole shortly after it. 1-1 here. Both teams search to try and go top of their group. If it stays like this, Western Province will stay top, obviously courtesy of goal difference. No doubt both teams will look to just stamp the authority as Kristen Payton driving down the left hand side as she's going to look for an opportunity to drive in. And Christine Segi coming across to make the tackle. And it's a 2v1 situation and ball comes inside. It's a little bit easy at the moment and it hits a foot, and it will be a penalty corner very early on, within 1 minute of the start of quarter 4.
Yeah, AJ, I just think Western Province caught flat-footed there and not been really good in this third as well as the fourth chucker in terms of setting up very, very quickly when they have this 23 meter zone offensive hits going against them.
Yeah, and especially that situation, Christine Segi went towards the player and didn't necessarily watch the ball carry at that point and straight drove, I think it was Leleto and Dekisa, drove straight inside the circle unopposed. Now penalty corner comes
First
in.
Castle slap coming. And Bernie Costin, unfortunately, not getting a touch on there. Well executed though.
Yeah, well, actually Lazan Janssen van Vuren on the end of it. Unfortunately, ball lifted dangerously. Brady Wiseman currently on the ball. Irrespective of what happens in this game, I think both coaches are going to have a long look at the second, third and fourth chucker. There were a lot of things that they can fix before the games tomorrow is there.
And we immediately see Jade Main pulled back into the Western Province midfield while Conita Bobs is experienced campaigner pulling the strings in midfield, whether it be Condito or Jade.
Yeah, because I mean also Southern's have, if you look at that midfield, Southern's got Bernadette Costin and Kristen Payton rotating around in that middle area. So they definitely got their work cut out when playing through theirs. Onge Mali with lots of skill, shot comes in and she did so well up to that point. Another great run through the middle, but she just couldn't get a shot on target.
Yeah, second time that Ongi's created that space for herself using her skill. Just think she's rushing the shot. Second time, this time off the front stick, previously with the tomahawk shot. Good step from Brady Wiseman there.
Ashley Thomas on the ball at the moment as she feeds it forward. Picked out there by Ailey Kilford. Kristen Payton on the ball at the moment. She finds her captain, Bernadette Costin. She finds Sylvia van Jasveld in front, and
This could be dangerous.
shot comes in. It beats the keeper, and it's 2-1 to Southern Gauteng. Western Province defense at 6s and 7s. It's just the wide gap opened up, and the shot comes in. Keeper unable to control it, rolls behind her, and ball goes into the back of the net. It is goal number 2 now for Southern Gauteng as they take a lead. In the last chucker, we've got 11 minutes left, and it's forced Western Province straight away to now go on the count on the attack. Ashley Thomas, ball comes across, and almost a chance there.
Yeah, Laura Stevens unfortunately unable to get a touch on that. Good position, good delivery from Ashley Thomas. But getting back to the way that the goal was conceded by Western Province, AJ. Turnover once again just inside the Southern's half of the field, and Bernadette Costin receiving the ball unmarked in space before she delivered to Sylvia van Jasveld.
Yeah, and it's almost like when Sylvia received the ball, the defenders moved across and allowed her the space straight inside the circle. It's very dangerous. And yeah, Sylvia's shot hit the keeper, and Nompilo Thenjwayo not waiting for that ball to cross the line. She just slotted it straight in. She scores her second for the game. Again, something that Western Province have to fix very, very quickly if they want to get a result from this game. You might be noticing it. There is a very, very stiff breeze growing from your typical Cape Town wind, blowing from right to left. So blowing into the Southern Gauteng faces. It is having a little bit of an impact on the games. Nicole Kinnick wins it, but Robin Johnson tries to win it back. And a little bit of a ping pong match. As Western Province have the ball now on the sideline, free through Brady Wiseman. Quinita Bob's in the middle of the field. Julia Hall now with space, and a really good receiver. She's got lots of pace, and she's going to look for this Taryn Glasby sliding towards the post, but well saved. There's an opportunity there for Western Province to try and get an equalizer. They found themselves 2-1 down with 9 minutes to play in this crucial match in Group B. They're looking for numbers outside. She finds Tony Marks. Tony Marks gives it back to her, and they've still got Kristen Payton towards us, left hand side, slipping, but working really hard as Steph Bertha takes the free quickly, and she finds Ongi Mali up front, but Ongi couldn't get the ball under control. It's Tamlin Cock driving the balls, a couple of stick tackles, umpire not making sure that doesn't. There's Kristen Payton driving down this right hand side. Tamlin Cock receives it. It's Nicole Koenig's foot. Is again slowly slowing the game down. It's still very early on to do that, but they'll take their time at most of the free hits. Ball comes in. Tony Marks receives it, and she's got some space, but hitting a foot. I think it hit her Lenta Cullinan's foot, and Southern Gauteng Again, comfortable ball inside this Western Province circle. As they win another penalty corner here with just under 8 minutes to go in the final quarter of the game.
Yeah, really good receive there from Tony. Really good technical application with the attentions of Lente Cullinan marking her tightly in the circle, but really well picked up and manufactured that PC really well. Nice and smart there from Tony. So Southerns with an opportunity to widen that gap, and if they can convert from this, the previous penalty corner, saw the ball just floating past the outside post. And we've got a re-award, even though the injection wasn't straight. Bella de Rocha taking it upon herself to have a crack at the goals. Fortunately hitting the foot of the Western Province defender.
Another penalty corner. See Bernadette Costin lining up here on the right hand side. She's probably going to run through. They've got Lazan Janssen van Vuren on the top with a little deflection. Ball comes in, well saved by Bernadette van Wyk. Shot comes in again. What a finish! Beats the keeper on the right glove side. And Lazan Janssen van Vuren slots goal number 3 for Southern Gauteng. As they take a big lead, even though it's only 2 goals, it feels like a big lead now. A mountain to climb for Western Province to come back. Not impossible, but very, very difficult. Konita Bob's now driving inside the circle. She's going to try and get something from it. Ball comes across, but well saved by the keeper. It's not. I was about to say the danger was not cleared, and then umpire blew a stick challenge.
Yeah, Southern's keeper Nadia Matana in it with this 2-goal cushion.
A 2-goal cushion there. Valuable 3-1 lead currently for Southern Gauteng. Definitely a more polished performance in the circle currently. One thing Sandile Bosman did say is that they needed to be a little bit more effective inside the circle. That's definitely something that they've done. They've had a few chances in the other quarters. They're definitely more clinical in this fourth chucker.
The Western Province team will really have to dig deep now to get back into this contest. Not impossible.
So Southern Gauteng driving down that left hand side. Hayley Kilfall on the ball. She's got Sylvia van Elsford in front of her, but she finds Isabella de Rocha. Misses the ball. Nompilo then Dwyer on the ball, and she tries to push it past the small little gap past the keeper, unfortunately hitting the side. So Western Province finds Taryn Glasby up down the left hand side. As she's going to be the type of player that she's going to want to get on the ball as often as possible if they're going to try and get the game back. So actually Thomas tries to feed the ball forward. Southern Gauteng, we've got 4 minutes 40 to go on the clock. I'm going to head down to the bottom to the field. We'll be chatting to the 2 captains. I'll leave you with Kurt, and we'll see you at the end of the game.
Southern seeming to manage the phase of the game now, taking their time with free hits. It's a bit of a simple turnover there. Conita Bob's passing it. Isabella de Rocha really came into her own in this fourth chucker. Okay, she's been very influential in that Southern's midfield. Always been known to be quite a good workhorse, and she's really proved to be effective. Kolkuri cutting infield there. Umpire deems it body check on Nicole Kurik. Western Province in position again with the free hit. Great awareness from Conita Bobs. Steph Porter driving into the Southerns D. And it's another ball across the face of goal, which a Western Province player is unable to get at the end of. Good transfer by Conita Bobs. Very good step there by the Southerns defender. Province just not been able to link that final pass in that last third. So with 3 minutes to go in this contest, Western Province have it all to do. Day 2 of Ladies IPT for 2021. Good intercept there by Robin Johnson. Kirsten Payton marshalling in the middle of the field. And Sylvia van Jaarsveld really showing good commitment to keep that ball in play. Keeps the ball alive. And another chance for Western Province to get out of the defensive zone. Steph Porter looking for a lead from Jade Main, but probably just asking a bit too much from Jade there. Tony Marks in that post-up position, which he really does so well, receiving the ball closed, but loses out. Somehow manages to get the ball back quite fortuitously. Good intercept. Another opportunity for Western Province via Conita Bobs, but she runs directly, showing too much of the ball to her national teammate Kirsten Payton. And Kirsten does exactly the same, and Nicole Kunich picks the ball from her pocket. Really good ball going through, opportunity for Karen Glasby, and unfortunately loses her balance as she was going to execute the shot. Carmen Smith coming away with the ball. Plays a neat little inside reverse stick pass to Kirsten Payton. Southerns just need to hold on to position now to close this game out. But they still opt to go forward. Malika Hamza in position, links up nicely. Return pass for Malika. Unfortunate there with the link up play. Malika just not able to get to the ball. Game's opened up quite a bit now. The ball thread down that left channel to Julia Hall, who's been quite busy down the left today. Western Province, long corner. Much less than a minute remaining in this contest. Can Province pull one back? Sheila Manus on the ball. And it's a great reverse stick shot there coming from Nicole Kunich. And Province come within one goal of Southern Gauteng with 20 seconds remaining in this game. Scoreline at the moment 3-2 to Southern Gauteng. And that's the end of quite an entertaining game. Southern Gauteng run out victors here 3-2 against Western Province on the second day of the National Ladies IPT in Cape Town. So that's Southern Gauteng 3-2 up, and Western Province will have to regroup and look ahead to tomorrow's fixture against the SA Under 21 side.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it comes to the end of a classic, typical senior ladies IPT match between Southern Gauteng and Western Province. Southern Gauteng going ahead and winning the game 3-2. Bernadette, we spoke to Zandile before. He said he wanted a more improved performance. You happy with that's the performance that you wanted today?
Yeah, we definitely went out today and followed the structure that we needed to. We changed a few things here and there, but we definitely did what we wanted to.
Going forward in the tournament, there are still a few things that you want to tighten up on. And we spoke about balance between experience and youth. So it must be pretty exciting to see younger players. I mean, yourself, you've been around for a long time. You've got a lot of experience to give across. Must be very exciting, though, to see the mix between the side that you have.
Yeah, I mean, that's what IPT is about as well. We want to develop the youth coming through. We try our best to help them where we can. But it is exciting, and I think it goes for all the teams around. And I mean, looking into the future, it's going to be great going ahead.
Well, listen, well done and congratulations. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you so much.
Cheers then. Right, I've got Jade Main with him, co-captain of the Western Province. Jade, unfortunately not the result you wanted. A lot of things that you still think you need to work on going forward?
Yeah, we always knew it was going to be a tough game. Southern Gauteng, Western Province has always been a battle. So building phase for us as well. We've got 8 new players that haven't represented our province before, which is exciting. So yeah, we're in also building phase to go forward. So each game at a time, and pity with the loss today, but yeah, kudos to them. So
you got another day of group matches and then you've got a quarter final. For some people say it's almost like it's a new tournament because you've got playoffs. That must probably be your focus now going forward, knowing that that's when the tournament really starts, if you think about it?
yeah, correct. So it's one game at a time from now on, and we do whatever we can tomorrow to get maximum points, and then we play whoever we face on Thursday.
Well, Jade, hard luck and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks very much.
And just that comes to the end of day 2. What an exciting day we've had. It's 2 days of group matches that we've had. We've got one more day of group matches before we head into our playoffs. The teams are play everything they need to play. We've got a Western Province side that have unfortunately just had their first loss. Southern Gauteng now that sit comfortably on top of their group at the moment. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you for day number 3 tomorrow here from the Senior Ladies IPT at Hartleyville. Bye for now.